Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and thank you, each and every one of you that watches any one of my videos. It is greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. I am definitely a nobody. I get barely any views, but for each and every one of you that does watch, thank you so very much. Again, it is appreciated to no end. Thumbs up for being alive. Definitely a good thing. Yeah. I had therapy yesterday. I talked about this, that, and the other. One of the things I did talk about with my therapist, though, was the fact that, he asked, how's your mood doing? And largely, I've been doing well. As long as I take Ritalin, it's pretty good at being a mood stabilizer. One of the things I have been doing, periodically, I identified as doing something for negative reasons, which was I'll just listen to songs that make me cry because they hurt, and just over and over again, and just feel bad for a long time. But sometimes it's not for a negative reason. Like I was sitting and crying over the song Melting of the Sun by St. Vincent, and it's not because it makes me feel a certain way and I cry because of that, but I don't feel that I'm not punishing myself by doing so. It's because I want to feel what the song is trying to make me feel. And at the end of that, when I said that I'm still having a lot of issues, I haven't even begun to deal with the death of my mother and my father yet. And he said at the end, I think maybe what you're trying to do is get to deal with that. When you're listening to the stuff that hurts and makes you cry, I think you're trying to get closer to the situation so that you can deal with the greatly radioactive situation. And that makes sense. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Also, as a really quick aside, I talked about how I don't really want to find out a lot of information because I don't want the song ruined for me, because a lot of songs, you're supposed to feel them, and if you think about them, you're going to ruin it. In the video for the song Melting of the Sun, one of the lyrics is, "Proud Nina got subpoenaed singing Mississippi Good Goddamn." And they show in the cartoon that's part of the video that it's Nina Simone. And Nina Simone was the stage name of a political activist, performer, and folk singer and all that. So yeah, it was strongly back in that time. It was a song all about that time period and the tumultuous things happening to a lot of people. So I don't want to really find out too much of the details. Again, I don't want to ruin it. Because after all, I even talked with my therapist about the song. I can't even remember the name of the song, but off that Kid A album, where if you just read the lyrics, it's horrific. But if you experience the song, then it makes sense. Even though the lyrics don't make sense out of context, when you hear it in the song, it's just, you can feel the tension and the anxiety. You know why it's being sung. It's something to be experienced and felt. And it's largely that too. So I don't want to ruin it by getting too deep into it, and I over-intellectualize a lot. Thumbs up for that. And speaking of over-intellectualizing, I've been trying to think of different situations and races and such that are on I gotta come up with an actual name for the world, but it's all part of the vast, all stories are part of the whole cosmic horror framework thing because of multiverses and many worlds hypothesis. Which I've got another thing I want to talk about that as well, so hopefully I'll remember. But I've been trying to think of other races because there's like 7 major races on the surface of this world. And I thought, well, what would it be like if down toward the southeastern part of this continent there's like a very honor-bound warrior type race? Orcs, say. But this world every race that's here so far has had something that's made it so that they fit in. And so what would happen to a warrior honor-bound race? My thoughts on this are honor and the field of battle can be almost anything. So to illustrate this story-wise, which is the best way I do it for me, I come up with these things and I try to come up with situations, then I have the characters talk things out. Even if nobody would talk, that's how I feel. You see how the characters in it are working, run it through my head. So it's like, okay, there are these honor-bound warrior types where they feel that the field of battle can be anything. So in this story, it would be like a modern day thing as a changing the viewpoint to make it so that it makes more sense. Going into a bar where it looks like all these rough and tumble biker types. There's music that's blaring on the jukebox. You got people playing pool. Everyone's up at the bar drinking. And then you get up there and you prove yourself that you're an idiot and you spill your drink on the person next to you. And then they get pissed and you're gonna have a fight, but it would be the equivalent of one of these people who's gotten pissed at you because you're a fish out of water and you're acting loud and just obnoxious. And finally they say, the field of battle, you're gonna be back here in 1 month because you and they are going to fight. And the field of battle is Jungian philosophy, specifically the collective unconscious and its possible impact on developing proto-civilizations. You have 1 month. You'd better start learning. But also in the context of this story, the person who comes in is because of being shocked by all this stuff and not really knowing a whole lot of like Jungian theory, ends up just being stumped, not saying much at this point. Because after that, the person making the challenge also throws in some sort of philosophical paradox. At which point, because it just bounces off. At which point this person is starting to go like, oh, maybe I'm fighting someone who is thoroughly unarmed. Says something more and then tosses out something about, I hope you can reason your way out of a simple semantic paradox. And when that bounces off of you, they say something along the lines of, well, you've got a month. You had better start learning. You have time. But unlike Zeno's paradox, this deadline will actually show up. And when that bounces off of them entirely, this person, this biker person that you would expect to be little more than just a thug, after all of this, looking at this individual, trying to come up with something to say, and you can see it on their face, the disgust and their anger, because they want to come back with a retort, an argument. But by your reactions, you have already proven that according to the philosophical precepts that they follow, you may not even be a sentient human being. You may be a little more than just an unreasoning beast, an animal. And they don't want to waste their words and their arguments on you, because that's being an insult to language and reason, because they're using them on you. And so finally, for the purpose of this, in disgust mostly at themselves because they don't know how to fully react to this situation, they end up just spitting on you and then leaving. At which point, also for the context of the story, you end up having the main character being talked to by someone else in the bar, who explains that, okay, within your rights, you're fully not even expected to show back up. But if you do, all you really have to do is show that you were willing to learn. Find a couple philosophy books on this stuff. Spend, after you read the preface and the introduction, spend an hour reading each chapter, just to show that you were interested. Because these people in this bar, they came here to relax and unwind after a hard day at the docks. They just want to drink beer, they want to play pool, and they want to discuss Jungian philosophy, specifically the role of the collective unconscious. And if you're going to at least prove that you tried. So these are a very honor-bound people, but their fields of battle are whatever they're fully invested in. Because after all, if you're just going to strike down your enemies with a weapon, you're not going to really fit in with a lot of people. Especially if honor means a lot to you. So you're still going to do battle, but your battle might be your field of interest, your hobby, your passion. It might be chess, it might be philosophy. If your honor is impugned, you will meet them on a field of battle, and you'd better be able to discuss comic books on the level that they can. So it's going to be that kind of society, except of course more medieval type, because the world, while advancing very, very quickly because of the church and the fact that there's so much tech from so many old civilizations that have grown and passed out into the universe, and leaving the next generation of beings to evolve and grow. So there's a lot of stuff to work on, and that's really good, and it's a thumbs up on that as well. Lots of stuff I've been thinking on that, so hopefully I'll be able to actually do something with it as a story. That would be good. Definitely thumbs up. Past that, I haven't really been doing much. I've been trying just to go walkies. I need to make some phone calls, so because I gotta get a tube shoved up my backside, make sure I'm not growing any cancer up there. Yay. So that's got to get done. And I've got some skin problems like this and a spot on my back with a mole there. I want to get checked out because dying of skin cancer ain't anything I want to do either. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get that done. Past that, I haven't been doing a whole lot. I actually slept pretty good last night, and so yesterday when I got out of bed, when I started recording at almost 7:30, I felt like I'd only just gotten up and I was having trouble thinking. I actually slept pretty good last night. When I woke up this morning, I was just finally going, I'm going to get up out of bed. No reason to just lay here. I'm going to get up now. And 40 minutes after that, I was already feeling kind of antsy, wanting to get started, but we'll see how the day goes. We'll see how it goes. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. Thumbs up each one I do. Answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. So thumbs up on that. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I am an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, with all of my mental issues, I may be getting medicated for at least some of them, but there is a limit on my memory. One day I will reach it. I'm still climbing to the sky, though. We have Beyond Useless Gaming, who hopefully will one day watch more of my stuff, but you never know. He's a cool guy. You should check out his channel. Beyond Useless Gaming. Definitely a thumbs up. And then we have Frogsta, I would assume, because it's FRGSTA. Thumbs up and thank you. Meme Terps, greatly appreciated. And I'll have to talk about that or hopefully give you a good reply. Captain Crunch, greatly appreciated. And Confused Owl 29, good to see you back in the comments, and hopefully you had fun. Beatrice, I sure hope it's pronounced that way. Thumbs up and thank you. Henry Giovanetto, I sure hope I'm close, and thumbs up and thank you. Zombie Wolf, good to see you back in the comments. We have Sizzy, greatly appreciated, and DASYPODIDAE45, thumbs up and thank you. Johnny K, greatly appreciated. Oblivion with a 3 instead of an E or an I. However it would have been, it's Oblivion with an E there. With a OBLIV3ON, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. We have A Bizarre YouTuber, greatly appreciated. Nikhil Kumar, I bet I'm nowhere close, but thank you very, very much. The Weapon 221, greatly appreciated. I Ate the Doug, poor Doug, thumbs up. And last but not least, Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you, you get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, and it is appreciated to no end. Each and every one of you, thumbs up and thank you. And while I've got my hands in the air, if you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com, and if you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these very beautiful and very awesome people, that would be, in fact, beautiful and awesome. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a Patreon.com patron, I do have a PayPal link down below. I'm thinking of starting up another GoFundMe. We'll see how that works. If you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, I have a PayPal link with things like cat food on the list. That would be awesome if you could check it out. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot or simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. Thumbs up and thank you so very much. Well, Hokey Smokes, as stated, hopefully I can get these phone calls made. If not, I got a lot of videos I still need to do, and need as in I want to do videos for my creative/disturbing channel, but I need to feel creative and not forced creativity, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not going to be a hot day today. It was actually kind of nice yesterday, and that's a very, very good thing. But with the Delta variant, and scientists right now are thinking that the Delta variant of the Covfefe bug is the most contagious bug we have ever seen in the history of the human species. Please get vaxxed, wear a mask, maintain your social distancing around people, try not to touch your face, wash your hands. We gotta get through this, please. Everybody that dies from this does not need to. It's preventable. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is, well, it's a very good thing, I think.